Happy Saturday, guys. What's up? Welcome in to a new episode of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt, and we are back after a winning day. Back-to-back winning days. Not a huge winning day, but a winning day. Red Sox win. Huge come from behind victory for Boston. They needed it. Orioles and the Yankees, that game never really threatened to go over, so that was good. Baseball goes 2-0, but the Iowa-Rutgers game was the play of the day, and that was the worst bet of the day. That game had 42 points in the first half. Unfortunately, it goes way over, so we go down 1.1 units there. 2-1 night, up 0.9 units on the day. So, 3 units made back. So we lost 7, and we've made 3 back. Will that continue today? I don't know. You ever look at your card and you're like, man, I like a lot of games, but I like a lot of favorites. Hope it's a good day for the favorites, because I've got 3 favorites that I've laid points with and 1 over that I like today. And I tend to prefer dogs. And so a little bit on the concern side for the card, but we'll see how it winds up going and how today winds up playing out. Reminder, I will do the Discord channel chat at 11 o'clock Eastern time. I'm going to be at Logan Airport, okay? So if it doesn't work, if there's a connection problem or if there's just something wonky going on with the internet, just FYI, I am traveling today. I'm on a plane at 1 o'clock Eastern back to Vegas. We will tape the Daily Juice tonight. It will go back tomorrow to the normal schedule, okay? This is the last time that the Daily Juice will be taped Eastern time, morning Eastern time. We'll go back to the overnight, which will be about 11 o'clock Pacific time, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock Pacific time, which means it's the next morning for the Eastern time, folks. We will go back to that starting tomorrow. Reminder about our live stream at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. Who knows? I'll tell you right now, I'm probably going to be a zombie. So just FYI, as I walk my way through getting back on West Coast time, after being on the East Coast for the last 3 weeks with the rehab for the shoulder surgery. So before I give you the picks for today, let's remind you guys about what we have going on here for BettingPros Premium. Now, a lot of you guys have asked about how do I get BettingPros Premium? Well, we've got an offer for you guys. How about 6 months? We will give you 6 months of BettingPros Premium for free. It's easy. Just make a deposit and place your wager at a partner sportsbook, and we will give you all the access to the Sharp AI, Betting Pros tool, the Betting Pro systems, the prop bet cheat sheet, the same game parlay builder, the prop bet analyzer. All those tools that are available with Betting Pros Premium can be yours for 6 months for free. To claim the upgrade, it's pretty easy. Just go to bettingpros.com/premium. bettingpros.com/premium, and it will walk you through how to sign up for Betting Pros Premium and getting 6 months for free. All right, let's start. And reminder here. So I'm going to be flying, so we're not going to go like heavy in deep here because I got to get in the car and get down to Logan Airport. But let's begin here with, and I'll just chuck out a couple of games here at the top. I have no idea. Utah and Texas Tech, I have no idea. I know that the Fox Sports guys are there for their big noon kickoff, and I understand all of that. I have no clue what's going to happen in that football game. I really don't. But let's start with talking about Auburn and Oklahoma. That's a 3:30 kickoff on ABC Eastern. Oklahoma shocked me last week. I was all prepared. I think I talked about it on the live stream, on the Discord chat. I thought Oklahoma would have a letdown against Temple. I thought they would take their foot off the gas. I thought that they wouldn't be focused. I thought the defense would give up some points, and they straight up throttled Temple. I was really impressed. 42-3 on a neutral field in Philadelphia, East Coast time, blew the doors off. John Mateer right now is the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman. He needs to win this game if he wants to keep himself in that conversation. The funny thing about this game is that Jackson Arnold is the former quarterback for Oklahoma, so there's going to be all sorts of juice in that building today for Jackson Arnold. The running game for Auburn surprised me when they went on the road and they beat Baylor, but I'm not going to get fooled twice on that because I think that game had more to do with Baylor and less to do with what we've seen out of Oklahoma. The Michigan game was really impressive. And while I think Auburn's running attack is better than Michigan's, I do think this OU defense is for real, and I do think this OU team is for real. I think there's a real shot that Oklahoma will beat Texas in the Red River. And if you think that, you may want to bet that game today, because if Oklahoma beats and covers Auburn today, the price for the Red River is going to change dramatically. We are not going to see the prices that are out there right now. I'm pretty confident. Last time I looked was a couple days ago, but I'm pretty confident that OU is still catching a touchdown or so from Texas in the Red River. I like the offense. I like the receivers. I really like the defense. I don't mind an underplay at 46.5 here, but we saw what happened last night with the under, and I'm going to stay away. College totals, we'll stay away from college totals, except for one game that I do like. There's one game I like a college total in, but I think Auburn is going to be in for it here today on the road at Memorial Stadium, rocking atmosphere. It's in that 2:30 Central Time, 3:30 Eastern Time window, which is the primetime game of the day here. I'm back in Oklahoma. Let's lay the 6.5 points here with OU at home and this defense. I don't think Auburn has much of a shot offensively here to move the ball, and Oklahoma will do enough with John Mateer throwing the football to cover. Oklahoma minus 6.5 for 1.1 units. Bet number 2. Let's go to Miami, and let's talk about their game against Florida. Look, I got burned last week, right? 20-10. Pick 6. G.J. Lagway threw 5 interceptions. Does he go to Miami today and play completely differently? I have a really hard time wrapping my head around that idea, that he's going to play differently than what he played. It's a night game in Miami with a ton of recruiting implications on the line here. Florida hasn't been bad. The quarterback's been the problem. Their defense has been great. But the problem is that I think Miami's offense is as good as last year, if not better than last year. Hurricanes are 3-0. They're top 5 in the country. They beat South Florida 49-12 yesterday. They beat Notre Dame. This team hasn't traveled yet. This schedule is perfect. They haven't gotten on a plane yet. Florida, they got to go to Miami. You can say, well, Matt, it's not that far. They were away at LSU last week. They're away at Miami this week. It's not a far trip, but it's just having to go on the road. DJ Lagway's got 6 interceptions so far this season. It's been a house of horrors for him so far as the quarterback of the Gators. And while I think the defense, and again, you can play the under 50.5 in this game if you would like, because I don't think Florida is going to just let Miami throw all over them. I think Carson Beck's going to have a good game here, and I don't trust this offense not to turn the football over. The offensive line for Miami might be the best in college football. I mean, they just blow people back. So to me, they should be able to move the football on Florida. The Gator defense has only given up 2 touchdowns all year. I mean, it's not their fault, right? The first game, 55-0. Second game, 18-16. Not their fault. Second game, third game, 20-10. Pick 6 is what caused that. I mean, this is not the Gator defense by any means, but this is Billy Napier. Their schedule is so brutal. They play LSU on the road. They play they play Miami on the road. They play Texas at home, then A&M on the road, then Mississippi State at home, then Georgia at home, then at Kentucky, then at Ole Miss, then home for Tennessee, and home for Florida State. It's just a ridiculous schedule. It's so difficult to have a young quarterback without any confidence. I don't think you get confidence by playing Miami on the road. I'm going to lay it. I don't love the number, but I'm going to lay it 7.5 Miami to win this game by 10 points, much like yesterday, or last week rather, a 20-10, 24-10, somewhere in that range for the Miami Hurricanes to win and cover a 7.5 point line up against Florida. Now, let's go to the Big 12. KU, a team at home who can score on pretty much anybody. I mean, they can score on pretty much anybody. Kansas is an offense that, again, if you want to back an over with them, again, I don't mind you going ahead and backing an over. There's different ways of playing these games, but if you want to play Kansas to score points today, I think you can play Kansas to score points today. I think that they will score. I think their offense is, in particular at home, tough to stop. Now, West Virginia is coming off. This is a 6 p.m. night game, Eastern time. West Virginia is coming off of a gigantic win against their arch rival in Pitt. So we're going to sell high here on West Virginia. We're also going to buy low on Kansas, who went to Missouri last week and lost 42-31. Both these teams coming off of rival games, both these teams feeling very differently about the games last week against their rivals. KU losing, West Virginia winning. West Virginia lost to Ohio on the road when they went on the road the last time. This team is not great. Not a huge fan of Rich Rodriguez, not a huge fan of this defense, and here comes an offense led by Jalen Daniels that has, Jalen Daniels in college is a really hard quarterback. He's at 9 touchdowns to 2 interceptions so far this year, 679 yards. He only threw for 223 last week, but he was 18 of 30 for 2 touchdowns. He did throw 1 interception in that game. I expect him to be the difference maker here in this game, and I think you're going to see turnovers for West Virginia. They only scored 10 points on the road against Ohio. I think KU gets a W here, and I'm going to lay the number. This is a big number. I don't like laying big numbers. I normally don't, but I think KU at home is going to be too much for West Virginia, just given what they looked like the last time they went on the road. We'll go KU minus 12 for 1.1 units. And finally to Nebraska and Michigan. The Michigan defense, I was all over it preseason. I thought that Michigan defense was going to be absolutely elite. And while there are elite players on that Michigan defense, they haven't looked the part. You're going on the road to a different Memorial Stadium. There's 2 Memorial Stadiums in big-time college football. One's in Norman, Oklahoma, and the other is in Nebraska, in Lincoln. Well, they did not play well against OU, and they gave up way more points than I thought they were going to. Nebraska being coached by Matt Perrault, and Nebraska's defense has been pretty good. I'm not going to deny what the black shirts have looked like, but the competition's been very low. This is a different level of competition, different type of quarterback. Running quarterbacks have killed Nebraska over the last 2 decades, and I think Bryce Underwood will have a big game today running the football. I think the offense will have a big day running the football against Nebraska. But equally, I think the Huskers will have a chance to move the football. I think Dylan Raiola will have a chance to put some numbers up here. He's got 8 touchdown tosses on the season so far, and I think Nebraska's offense is going to be able to score. Michigan on the road at Oklahoma lost 24-13, but there were a lot of points in that game that were left on the floor, on the field. Michigan at home has won 34-17 over New Mexico and 63-3 over Central Michigan. Nebraska played down in Kansas City against Cincinnati, won the game 20-17, and then came home, and the defense did nothing but shut out Akron and hold Houston Christian to 7. 68-0, 59-7. They're not doing that to Michigan, obviously. You could say this could be an old-fashioned Big Ten rock fight, but I don't actually think so. I think this game's going to be a bit more high-scoring and back and forth than people are expecting, just because, again, I'm not positive about Michigan's defense. Equally, I'm not positive about Nebraska's defense, to be quite honest. I think Michigan's offense will be able to run the ball and move the ball, and their offensive line, I think, will be able to move the Huskers. I expect Michigan to score 20, 24 points today. But equally, I think Nebraska is going to be able to score somewhere in that same range, and that's why this is a complete toss-up coin flip. I mean, this number is 1.5 for Michigan. I mean, this is a coin flip game, so it's hard to pick a side on this. I think the best play is to play the over. Let's go points for Michigan and Nebraska over 47.5. I got 46.5 earlier in the week, but that's the consensus number at the moment at 47.5. So the first moves have been to the over. There were better numbers in the market, and I have one of them, but let's give it out at 47.5, just simply because it's not fair, because those markets aren't available at the moment. That price is not available at the moment. So for us here, reminder, we'll do an 11 a.m. chat on the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat to join it. We'll go over late line movements, other games. I'll explain why I like Tulane. Okay, if you want a dog today, take Tulane plus the points. We'll talk about that game a little bit and some other things going on in college football. But for the plays officially on a Saturday, Oklahoma laying 6.5, Miami laying 7.5. Both those teams are at home. KU's at home as well, laying 12. And then Michigan and Nebraska over 47.5 today in the Big Ten. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me across all my socials at Sports Talk Matt every morning, wherever you guys get your podcasts. It is the Daily Juice.